Well, thanks very much for the invitation. This is Ed Schofield with Johnson Screens. This is a primer for the upcoming 2024 Groundwater Week kicking off in Las Vegas in December. I've been asked to kind of give a primer in regards to what we're going to be talking about as part of my discussion on the do's and don'ts of well stimulation. I have been blessed in my 45 years to have pumped a lot of stimulation products over the years. My previous life was in the oil field. So I had an opportunity to do acid jobs and frac jobs, and I learned a lot about right and wrong. And in working in conjunction with Johnson Screens, we get a chance to look over a lot of fences. We get a chance to see how people are doing things and whether or not that's working properly or whether or not there are some issues that need to be addressed to possibly help them move forward in regards to what they're doing, making it more effective and making it more safe. Diagnostics is one of the things we're going to talk about. Is it a pump or is it a well situation? How do we discern? How do we define that? Sampling. The questioning of the conditions in regards to whether or not it comes down to a well is two guys standing over a wellhead. We got two different opinions. So we're going to really emphasize the prospects of sampling, getting something ahead of time before the well goes down to get it to a laboratory to attempt to try to do some diagnostics. I mean, what we're looking at is questioning the conditions really before setting a course. And in so doing, that lab work gives us kind of a roadmap as to where we need to go and what we're going after, putting the right products in the right application. We can spend an inordinate amount of money treating a well with the wrong conditions and the wrong chemistry. So we want to see if we can do it right the first time. And that may mean some upfront follow-up, some upfront testing and lab work. And then once that's done, once we've got our roadmap, then we want to look at the logistics. What kind of site are we dealing with? What's surrounding us? We want to inspect that site. We want to know the conditions. We want to know entry and exit. We want to go ahead and know even drainage on the site. And then the getting the crew online, getting them versed as to what we're going to be doing. There are videos that are available on YouTube right now that will get people in line with, why are you using this particular acid? What's the treatment regime that we're going to follow? What's the PPE? What kind of safety and what kind of disposal issues do we need to address? And then the tailgating. Once we're on the job, everyone is assigned their given opportunities for responsibilities and knowing what to do and how to best do it. So you're looking at your PPE, your eye wash stations, the mixing and pumping schedule, and testing the lines, the pumps, and all of the connections that you would be using with fresh water before you ever initiate any kind of work in the field, and even wind direction. From the standpoint if by chance we generate some off-gassing, you want to make sure you're upwind at all times. So in the oil patch, you tested everything and sampled everything before you initiated any kind of work. I'm going to really emphasize that in our presentation, and I'm going to talk about the prospects of possibly mixing off-site. If you have access to a chemical supply house, you may very well be able to go ahead and have a lot of this product already pre-mixed, pre-sampled, so it can be brought out to the job site ready to go. And then last but not least, as part of this presentation, I'm going to share some stories, some good, some bad, some really ugly. But I will, in fact, emphasize something I've never shared with anybody else, and that is how a sampling technique very early in my career provided me the opportunity of keeping my job, not losing a career, and saving my employer at the time about $4.5 million. So we're going to hear some stories. We're going to share some anecdotes, but we're going to talk about what's the real rubber meets the road in regards to well stimulation, well cleaning, and pumping of various chemistries in the field that we want to make sure we do it right the first time. So that's what we're going to offer. And there's why I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in December. Have a great day.